Jordan Brahman focuses on Marx's theory of alienation. Marx's theory of alienation is his analysis of how people become estranged from themselves and each other under the conditions of capitalism. What Marx is trying to say is that workers lose control of their lives by losing control of their work under capitalist conditions. In modern industry, workers initially become nothing more than someone who can easily be replaced. Their work is highly supervised by people who are above them, people who basically think for them, and workers just follow orders. Humans are not free humans until they work voluntarily and under their own direction. In order to accomplish true freedom, workers must become their own owners. Jordan Brahman uses artists multiple times as an example of liberating yourself from the confinements of a controlled workplace environment. Artists are in control of their work. They use their own creative capabilities to create masterpieces that are meaningful to them because they create art that expresses their mind. Jordan Brahman makes the point that workers don't control the process of their work because they don't own means of production. They leave their finished product in the possession of the owner. Artists can create pieces for their own enjoyment, not just to sell for a living. They can keep their pieces and have a sentimental attachment to them because they put their heart and soul into it. Their work is not just a meaningless machine. Jordan Brahman mentions how the more people produce, the more they become dependent on what they produce. Humans work and don't put thought into it, and they just produce products such as large amounts of bombs and weapons of mass destruction and don't realize they can potentially harm them in the end. They are vaguely aware of these dangers and feel powerless. For example, Kim Jong-un, who is the North Korean leader, has recently threatened the U.S. with a nuclear attack, stating that Washington will be engulfed in a sea of fire. And all that the people of the U.S. could do was wait in a state of terror because we were powerless. Jordan Brahman's points out a weak point in Marx's theory. Marx's theory pertains to the circumstances people lived in the 19th century. In the 19th century, the working conditions were a lot more harsh. Owners didn't care about having a safe environment for their workers. Workers would be deprived of an education. In current society, conditions have improved and there are health codes and safety precautions that companies have to go by. Health benefits are provided and people actually educate themselves in the career they feel most passionate about. Minimum wage is $7.50, and people can afford to make a living even if it isn't prestigious, but it is enough. This brings me to a strong point Jordan Brahman made. He mentions Marx's true idea of being a happy human being. Marx's idea of high standard living was more about having fully developed emotions, having connections with others, receiving a good education, not on how many materialistic things you can afford. In our society, I believe the Kardashians do not follow Marx's idea of living an intensive life. Kardashians, from simply seeing their TV show, you witness how they put so much emphasis on materialistic items. Their entire life is ruled by their work because they want to live a prestigious life, that they fail to see the true importance, which is to spend time with their family. You realize that during family gatherings, they're always doing business and always have to have the best top designer clothing. Jordan Brahman concludes by saying that workers alienate themselves from their human nature. It is important for a worker to produce without external necessity, to indulge in work that makes the person happy and aren't being forced to work, to have passion in their work and get lost in it